Every morning, millions of men over 60 reach for their cup of coffee, thinking it's just a habit, just a little pick-me-up. But what if I told you that by adding to ancient ingredients ginger and honey you could turn that ordinary drink into a powerful remedy that revives your manhood, improves blood flow, and restores your confidence in the bedroom? I'm Dr. Laura, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men regain what they thought was lost forever. And what I'm sharing with you isn't some pill, gimmick, or internet trick. It's a natural, science-backed routine I've recommended to hundreds of men, many who had given up hope. And the results? Truly incredible. Here's what most men don't realize. The real reason erections weaken with age isn't just aging itself. It's inflammation, sluggish circulation, falling hormones, and worn-out nerves, all things this morning drink begins to fix. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the 10 surprising ways this simple blend of coffee, ginger, and honey helps with stronger erections, better blood flow, and a natural testosterone boost. But stay with me, because the biggest reason this drink works so well for older men is something no one else is talking about. Before we dive in, if you're a man over 60 looking to feel stronger, sharper, and more confident again, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss another tip made just for you. And if this video speaks to you, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me help you better. Now, let's start with the very first benefit, because this one alone could change your mornings for good. If you've been waking up without the natural firmness you once had, this might be the missing piece. When you mix coffee with ginger and honey, something amazing happens to your blood vessels, and it starts working within minutes of that first warm sip. Let me explain how. It wakes up your blood vessels like an alarm clock for your circulation. I'll never forget one of my longtime patients, Henry, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. He came to me frustrated, embarrassed, and quietly defeated. He said, "Doc, I used to wake up every morning, ready to go. Now, there's just nothing happening." Like many men his age, Henry thought the spark was gone for good, but I asked him to try something simple. Add fresh ginger and a spoonful of raw honey to his morning coffee. He raised an eyebrow, laughed, and said, "That's all." I told him, just try it for a week. And here's what happened. That mixed coffee, ginger, and honey works like a gentle but powerful reset for your body. The caffeine in coffee wakes up your nervous system and opens your blood vessels. But ginger takes it further. It naturally boosts nitric oxide, the key molecule that relaxes blood vessels in your penis, leading to stronger, longer-lasting erections. Honey, packed with natural minerals and enzymes, supports healthy arteries and gives you quick energy to jumpstart your day on your manhood. What Henry noticed after just 5 days was nothing short of amazing. He told me, "Doc, I had to laugh. I woke up 3 mornings in a row feeling like I was 25 again." What he experienced wasn't luck or imagination. It was blood flow returning to a place that had been neglected for too long. This trio doesn't work like a harsh drug. It supports your body gently but effectively. It opens your blood vessels from the inside out. You might feel warmth in your core, better circulation in your legs and feet, and yes, renewed blood flow where it counts most. And because this boost happens early in the day, it sets you up for better energy, focus, and confidence later on. The best part, the benefits grow over time. You're not forcing your body, you're waking it up. And when your circulation is awake, so is your manhood. But blood flow is just the start, because the next benefit of this drink goes even deeper. It works with your hormones and may help bring back what most older men think is gone forever. Let's talk about that next. Naturally supports testosterone levels. One of the hardest things for older men to talk about isn't just weak erections. It's the feeling of fading away as a man. I hear it all the time in my practice. "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore." And what they're really saying is, "I feel like my drive, my fire, my edge is slipping." That's why I always pay close attention to testosterone. It's not just about libido. It's about confidence, strength, clarity, and vitality. And the truth is, after 60, Your testosterone doesn't just gradually fall. It can plummet if you're not giving your body the right signals. That's where ginger and honey in your morning coffee come in. Ginger has been used for centuries to awaken male energy, and modern science finally caught up. Several studies have shown that ginger boosts luteinizing hormone, which tells your testes to produce more testosterone. It also fights oxidative stress in the Leydig cells, the very cells responsible for making testosterone. In plain terms, it helps your body remember how to produce what it once did with ease. And raw honey, especially unfiltered, mineral-rich honey, is a hidden hero. It contains boron, a trace mineral linked to higher free testosterone. That's the active kind. The testosterone your body can actually use. It also stabilizes blood sugar, and stable blood sugar means fewer hormone crashes. I remember a man named George, 64, who had been struggling with low energy and zero interest in intimacy for months. I recommended this simple drink: just coffee, a half teaspoon of fresh grated ginger, and a teaspoon of raw honey, first thing in the morning. That was it. Nothing fancy. And within 2 weeks, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Doc, my wife noticed before I did. She said, your spark came back." That's the quiet power of natural testosterone support. It doesn't just bring back erections, it brings you back. Your voice may feel stronger. Your decisions come quicker. You may feel a lift in your chest, a calm sense of control in your day. That's real hormonal balance, not from a shot or a patch, but from ingredients your body already understands. But here's what most men don't realize. Even if your testosterone improves, it's not enough if inflammation is still sabotaging your blood flow in the background. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Because the next benefit of this drink is all about calming the silent enemy that's quietly choking your erections, and how to stop it before it's too late. Reduces inflammation that's choking your erections. There's something I see all too often in men over 60. They're doing everything right on the outside, but still struggling with weak or inconsistent erections, and many of them feel like their body is betraying them. Like no matter how hard they try, nothing changes. But the truth is, there's often a hidden force working against them from within. It's called chronic inflammation, and it's quietly choking their blood flow, damaging their arteries, and slowly draining their sexual strength. I once had a patient named Leonard, 67, who looked healthy on paper. His blood pressure was under control. He walked every morning, ate fairly clean, but intimacy had become a distant memory. When I ran some deeper tests, I saw clear signs of systemic inflammation, elevated CRP, stiff arteries, and sluggish endothelial function, the very tissue lining the blood vessels of his penis. He wasn't broken. He was inflamed. That's why ginger is such a critical piece of this morning drink. It contains powerful compounds like gingerol and chagal that act as natural anti-inflammatories. They calm the walls of your blood vessels, reduce oxidative stress, and improve blood flow where it counts. Coffee, too, contributes here. Most people don't realize that black coffee is loaded with antioxidants, chlorogenic acid being one of the most powerful, which helps protect cells from inflammatory damage. Then there's raw honey. Gentle, soothing, full of polyphenols that work quietly to reduce inflammation and oxidative strain throughout the body. These three ingredients together create something I call a circulation cleanse. They don't just open up your arteries temporarily, they begin healing them from the inside out. And when the inflammation starts to go down, erections naturally return stronger, more consistent, and more reliable. Leonard started this drink daily, just after waking. He called it his morning reset. After 3 weeks, he told me, "Doc, something shifted. I'm not just getting hard again. My whole body feels younger." That's the kind of change that only comes when you go beneath the surface and treat the root issue. And for so many older men, that root is inflammation, silent, sneaky, and completely reversible when you know what to do. But healing the blood vessels is only part of the story. Because even if your circulation is strong, if your energy and drive are low, intimacy still feels like a chore. That's why the next benefit is so powerful. It's all about waking up the emotional spark that makes desire come alive again. Let's talk about that next. Boosts energy and mood for better bedroom performance. I've had men sit across from me, shoulders slumped, and quietly admit something they never thought they'd say out loud. Doc, it's not just the performance. I don't even feel like trying anymore. And I get it, because when your energy is low, your mind is foggy, and your mood is flat, the last thing your body wants to do is be intimate. That spark, the one that used to fire up automatically, is now buried under fatigue and emotional heavings. But I've seen something incredible happen when men start drinking coffee with ginger and honey each morning. It's like flipping the switch back on. Suddenly, they're not just getting through the day, they're showing up for it. There's a noticeable shift in their posture, their tone of voice, their appetite for connection. That's no coincidence. That's chemistry doing its job. Caffeine, as we know, stimulates the central nervous system. It increases alertness, improves reaction time, and even lifts your mood by increasing dopamine, the very neurotransmitter tied to motivation, pleasure, and, yes, sexual desire. But caffeine alone is a blunt tool. That's where ginger steps in. Ginger helps regulate cortisol, your stress hormone, and supports the adrenal system, which is responsible for energy and stamina. It also promotes the release of serotonin, which brings a feeling of emotional balance and calm confidence. Now, add honey into the mix. Honey is a natural, clean source of glucose, your brain's preferred energy source. That gentle, steady fuel helps stabilize your mood and gives your nervous system what it needs to function without the crash. It also provides quick energy without spiking insulin, especially when paired with coffee and ginger. One of my patients, Raymond, 72, told me that after just a week of this drink, he felt present again. That was the word he used, present. He said, "It's not just physical anymore, Doc. I actually feel like myself when I look in the mirror. I feel interested in things again." That kind of emotional vitality isn't just good for your day. It's essential for intimacy, because when your energy and mood return, your natural desire follows close behind. But there's another issue that affects millions of older men and often goes unnoticed: the gradual numbing of sensation. Even if you're able to get an erection, you may not feel the same level of pleasure. That's where this drink works a quiet miracle. And you're about to find out how. Improves sensitivity and nerve function in the penis. There's something most men won't say out loud, but I hear it all the time in private. "Doc, I can get it up, but I can't feel much anymore." And for a man who used to feel every touch, every moment, that kind of numbness is deeply frustrating. It's not just about function anymore, it's about connection, feeling pleasure, feeling alive, feeling like the man you used to be. Over time, as we age, the tiny nerve endings in the penis can become less responsive. Blood flow slows, the tissues become less nourished, and the sensitivity that once came so easily begins to fade. It doesn't happen all at once. It's subtle, but one day you realize that something's missing. That's where this morning drink can quietly begin to turn things around. Ginger plays a big role here. It enhances peripheral circulation, meaning it helps push blood to the smallest capillaries, including those that feed your nerves. But even more importantly, ginger reduces oxidative stress and supports nerve regeneration. Studies have shown that compounds in ginger actually promote the repair of damaged nerve fibers. For older men, that's not just helpful, it's hopeful. Coffee, often underestimated, also supports cognitive and neurological function. The caffeine helps improve nerve responsiveness and communication between the brain and the body, giving you sharper signals and faster reactions. And honey, it's not just sweet. It provides a slow, steady source of glucose that nerves rely on for energy. Without proper fuel, nerves become sluggish. With the right fuel, they fire more cleanly and clearly. I had a patient, John, 69, who told me something that stuck with me after just 2 weeks of drinking this coffee blend daily. He said, "I didn't realize how numb I'd become until I started feeling everything again." That hit me hard because for a lot of men, numbness becomes the new normal. But it doesn't have to stay that way. This drink doesn't just help you perform, it helps you experience. It brings back the connection between sensation and satisfaction, which is what intimacy is truly about. But sensitivity is just one piece of the puzzle, because even if you feel more, your hormones need to stay balanced, and blood sugar plays a much bigger role in that than most men realize. And what this drink does to support blood sugar might surprise you. Let's get into that next. Helps balance blood sugar for long-term hormonal health. One of the most overlooked causes of declining erections and low testosterone in older men isn't just aging, it's unstable blood sugar. And most of the men I treat don't even realize it's happening. They'll come in and say, "Doc, I'm not diabetic, but I just feel off." They're experiencing energy crashes, stubborn belly fat, cloudy thinking, and a slow, steady dip in their interest in intimacy. What they're really dealing with is insulin resistance, an invisible roadblock that quietly derails hormonal balance and damages circulation. That's where this morning drink becomes so much more than a caffeine boost. Ginger, when taken consistently, has been shown in clinical studies to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce fasting blood glucose. It helps your body use the sugar in your blood more efficiently, which means less strain on your pancreas, more stable energy, and fewer hormone spikes and crashes. Coffee also plays a surprising role here. Black coffee, when consumed without sugar or cream, has been linked to improved glucose metabolism and a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. It helps your body respond better to insulin, especially when taken first thing in the morning. But what about the honey? Isn't that sugar? That's where raw, unfiltered honey is different. It's not just sugar. It's a complex natural substance with antioxidants, enzymes, and trace minerals that slow its absorption and help regulate the glycemic response. When paired with coffee and ginger, honey provides a gentle rise in energy without the crash. It feeds the brain and body while helping your hormones stay balanced. One of my patients, Marvin, 70, had been on the edge of pre-diabetes for years. He tried all the usual things, low-carb diets, sugar substitutes, but nothing helped him feel better. When we introduced this drink into his morning routine, something shifted. Within a month, his fasting blood sugar dropped, his energy improved, and he smiled at me during a follow-up and said, "I didn't know I could feel steady again." That steadiness, that quiet return of balance, is what sets the stage for everything else. When your blood sugar is stable, your testosterone has a chance to rise, your arteries stay more flexible, and your brain functions with greater clarity. But there's another issue tied closely to hormonal health that most men over 60 never think about until it starts interfering with their ability to go, flow, and perform. And this morning drink has a unique way of helping with that, too. Let's talk about the prostate. Supports prostate health and urinary flow. It's something most men over 60 don't want to talk about, but they feel it every single day. The constant pressure, the weak stream, the frustrating nighttime trips to the bathroom that leave you drained in the morning. And maybe worst of all, the growing fear that your prostate is slowly turning against you. I've had men come into my office in tears, not because of pain, but because of how helpless they feel. "Doc, I used to sleep through the night. Now I'm up 4 times, and I can't even remember the last time intimacy felt natural." What many don't realize is that your prostate and your erections are closely connected. An enlarged or inflamed prostate doesn't just affect urination, it places physical pressure on the nerves and blood vessels that control sexual function. That means your flow suffers, your stamina drops, and your confidence takes a hit. But here's the hopeful part. Inflammation is reversible, and that's exactly where this drink comes in. Ginger once again plays a starring role. It has been shown in research to reduce prostate inflammation and may even protect against benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. Its natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds help calm swelling and relax the muscles surrounding the urethra, allowing for better urinary flow and less internal pressure on key pelvic nerves. Coffee, in moderation, can also be helpful. It acts as a mild diuretic, encouraging healthy elimination and preventing fluid retention. And raw honey, with its antibacterial and antifungal properties, supports urinary tract health and may help fight off the kind of low-grade infections that can aggravate an already stressed prostate. One of my older patients, Samuel, 73, had resigned himself to living with it. He said he was tired of all the pills, tired of feeling old, tired of accepting discomfort as his new normal. I encouraged him to try this drink every morning, not expecting a miracle, but offering a small shift in the right direction. A month later, he came back and said, "Doc, I'm sleeping better. I feel lighter. And my wife noticed I don't run to the bathroom all night." That's what real healing looks like: quiet, steady progress that brings your body back into balance. And once your prostate calms down and flow improves, something else starts to change deep in your core. Blood starts moving again, and not just anywhere, but to the very region that defines male strength. Because the next benefit is all about restoring that powerful pulse of life right where you want it most. Let's get into it. Restores pelvic blood flow with gentle warmth. One of the things most older men don't realize is how much blood flow matters, not just to your heart, not just to your brain, but specifically to your pelvic region. That's the center of masculine vitality. It's where your strength gathers, your sensitivity lives, and your confidence takes root. And when blood stops moving freely through that area, it affects more than just erections. It changes how you walk, how you feel when you sit, and how alive you feel in your own body. I remember a man named Carl, 70, who told me something that stuck. He said, "Doc, I just feel cold down there, numb, like the energy is gone." That might sound subtle, but it's actually a common sign of poor pelvic circulation. When blood isn't reaching your core, nothing functions the way it should. Muscles weaken, nerves fade, erections suffer. That's why the warming properties of ginger are so important. Ginger increases core body heat and acts as a natural vasodilator, meaning it gently opens up your blood vessels, especially in the lower abdomen and pelvic floor. This helps bring fresh, oxygen-rich blood to areas that may have been neglected for years. When combined with caffeine from coffee, which further stimulates blood flow, and energy, and honey, which nourishes the vascular lining with antioxidants and trace minerals, the result is something powerful. You feel awake from the inside out. This isn't the kind of jittery rush you get from an energy drink. It's more like a slow, steady ignition, your body warming, your circulation deepening, and your awareness coming back to places you haven't felt in a long time. Carl called it a quiet fire. He said after 2 weeks of drinking this blend each morning, he didn't just feel more sensation in his groin. He felt more grounded, more present, more alive. That kind of transformation isn't loud, but it's deeply real. And it doesn't just improve physical performance, it brings back something even more important: a sense of ownership over your body. But even with circulation restored, even with blood flowing to the right places, you still need something else, something deeper. You need the mindset and emotional strength to reclaim your confidence every single day. And what this next benefit does for your sense of identity and masculinity might surprise you even more. Let's talk about the power of a daily ritual and how it can completely shift how you see yourself. Creates a positive morning ritual that rebuilds your confidence. Sometimes, it's not the medicine that changes a man, it's the habit. And I've seen it happen more times than I can count. A man comes into my office feeling worn down, defeated, and almost invisible to himself. It's not just about weak erections or fatigue. It's about the slow loss of identity. He's not who he used to be, and he doesn't know how to get that man back. That's where something as simple as a morning ritual can begin to work real magic. I tell my patients this all the time. Healing doesn't happen all at once. It begins with a signal to your brain, to your body, and to your spirit that says, "I'm still here, and I'm not giving up." That's exactly what happens when you start each day with a purposeful act, like making and drinking this warm, restorative blend of coffee, ginger, and raw honey. It's not just a drink. It's a declaration. There's something powerful about the aroma of fresh coffee, the zing of ginger, and the gentle sweetness of honey. When you take a few minutes each morning to prepare it, you're doing more than nourishing your body. You're setting the tone for your day. You're choosing to show up. You're choosing to take care of the man inside who might have been neglected, criticized, or pushed aside by years of stress, loss, or self-doubt. One of my patients, Bill, 68, used to rush through his morning's coffee in a paper cup, skipped breakfast, emails before sunrise. He told me his day started with tension and ended in exhaustion. When I asked him to try this drink not just for the health benefits, but as a ritual, he was skeptical. But a month later, he came in smiling. He said, "Doc, I start my day different now. I sit down, I breathe, I feel like I'm back in charge." That shift from reactive to intentional changes everything. Because when you claim your mornings, you reclaim your strength. Your body starts to respond, your mind becomes sharper, and your confidence both in and out of the bedroom begins to rebuild. But what makes this drink so effective isn't just the ingredients or the ritual. It's the way it works in harmony with your body instead of forcing it. And that brings us to one final, crucial benefit. Because if you've ever wondered why this natural approach leads to real, lasting results without pills or pressure, what you're about to hear will bring it all together. Works in synergy with your body. No pills, no pressure, just results. 1. Of the most powerful things I've learned in over 30 years of working with men is this: your body wants to heal. It wants to function. It wants to rise again. The problem is, most modern solutions don't work with your body, they work against it. Pills force a response, override your natural rhythms, and leave you chasing performance instead of rebuilding health. That's why I always tell my patients, real change comes when you stop fighting your body and start working with it. That's exactly what this simple morning drink does. When you combine the steady alertness of coffee, the warming anti-inflammatory power of ginger, and the nourishing sweetness of raw honey, you're not forcing your body to perform. You're giving it exactly what it needs to remember how to perform on its own. That's not a shortcut. That's restoration. Your blood vessels respond. Your hormones begin to balance. Your nervous system calms. Your energy rises. But it all happens naturally, gradually, in a way your body recognizes and embraces. It's not about shocking your system. It's about supporting it gently and consistently day after day. And that's where the real results come from. Not a single dramatic moment, but a quiet return to wholeness. I had a patient once, Thomas, 66, who said, "Doc, I've tried every pill. They all worked until they didn't. Then I felt worse." When he shifted to this drink, just 1 cup a morning, no pressure, no expectations, he started noticing changes he couldn't explain. It wasn't just the erections, he said, it was how I felt walking, breathing, standing taller, like something inside me was turning back on. Here's the magic of working with your body instead of fighting it. It's not just about fixing one issue. It's about strengthening the whole system that keeps you feeling powerful, capable, and fully alive as a man. Now that you've seen the 10 ways this simple drink can revive blood flow, lift testosterone, sharpen sensitivity, and rebuild your confidence from within, you're probably wondering, how do I make this work for me? So, in this last part of the video, I'll walk you through exactly how to prepare this drink the right way, plus key tips to make sure it's safe, effective, and truly transformative. Let's dive in. Here's the doctor's final word. If you're still watching, you already understand this isn't just about coffee. It's about reclaiming what you thought was lost forever. We've gone over 10 natural, powerful ways this simple trio, just coffee, ginger, and honey, can help. Stronger erections, healthier testosterone levels, reduced inflammation, better circulation, brighter mood, sharper nerves, balanced blood sugar, a calmer prostate, renewed confidence, and most importantly, reconnecting with yourself. I've seen this work firsthand, not just in studies, but in real life. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who thought their best days were over, started feeling that spark again, not because of some expensive treatment or miracle cure, but because they committed to something small, simple, and powerful every single morning. So here's the exact recipe I give my patients. Brew 1 cup of black coffee. Skip the sugar and cream closing parenthesis. While hot, stir in 1/2 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, or 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger closing parenthesis. Add 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered honey. Stir gently, sip slowly, and let your body absorb it within 30 minutes of waking up. This isn't just a drink, it's a statement. It tells your body, mind, and spirit, you're not done yet, you still matter, you still have strength because you do. One of my greatest joys as a doctor has been watching older men come alive again, not just in the bedroom, but in their energy, their confidence, their pride. If you take one thing from this, let it be this: you are not broken, you are not too old, and it is not too late. Try this for 7 days, then 14, then a full month. Let your body show you what it's still capable of. Because sometimes, the road back to strength, passion, and vitality doesn't start with a pill. It starts with a warm cup, a few healing ingredients, and a quiet moment when you decide, let's try again.